Speaking of AI waves, Pure Storage up double digits on overtime after posting strong numbers across the board, including margins and guidance that topped analyst expectations. Joining me now exclusively before the earnings call is Charlie Giancarlo, Pure Storage Chairman and CEO. Charlie, good to see you. So these numbers, the first thing that jumps out at me is the beat on product revenue. Give me the color there on what led to that.
Well, actually, we had strength across the board. Yes, product revenue is up, but so has been our as-a-service offerings. This is where we provide our capabilities completely as a service based on consumption to our customers. We had good balance across our various products as well as our software products as well. So actually, it was just generally speaking, a very good quarter.
So very high performance storage is what I think of when I think of Pure. How does that play into the AI story, and to what degree is this preparation for AI, experimentation with it, driving that marginal upside?
It's a great question. We play into the AI environment in multiple ways. One, of course, is that we sell product into AI environments, whether it's a training environment or whether it's more of the inference environment that would be more typical in an enterprise environment. But frankly, AI has changed the lens upon which enterprises are looking at their data. And what they realize is that their current data estate, their current global data estate, is highly fragmented. We introduced a concept earlier this year of what we call our enterprise data cloud. And this is the ability for the data storage environment that we provide to operate like a cloud within the enterprise. In other words, cloud doesn't have to be a destination. Cloud is the way one operates, and we can turn an enterprise's data environment into more of a cloud-type environment, both for security as well as performance, but also to make all that data available for AI analytics. So it operates more as a way for customers to be rethinking about their architecture inside their enterprise.
And maybe we got to remind investors about some of that cloud terminology. Remember hybrid cloud and how AI has made both having some on-premise as well as having perhaps some with the hyperscalers, some equipment spend, some technology spend there, some data location there making sense. To what degree is your customer a hyperscaler versus an individual enterprise, and how are these technology trends affecting that split?
Well, we've been selling it to the enterprise since our founding over 15 years ago. But much more recently, we started developing a business that's targeted very much at the hyperscalers. We actually were able to recognize our first revenue into a hyperscale environment just last quarter. And we believe that will continue to scale in the years ahead. You might ask why? What is the benefit? Well, we provide only flash storage. A lot of the hyperscale environment, it's either SSD, which is flash, or hard disk, which is 90% of it. We're able to operate in both environments and lower the total space, power, and cooling, power in particular, in the hyperscale environment. And with power being at such a premium, the ability to use less power on storage and therefore be able to use more power for things such as AI, becomes very, very interesting.
The power and cooling part is important. How important is the performance part? Nobody likes to wait for that answer when they're asking Claude or ChatGPT or whatever model you're using. How big a role does storage play in that and the performance level of that storage?
Well, the performance is what it's all about in an AI environment, right? You have to deliver. Not only do you have to deliver the data with very low latency, but you have to deliver vast amounts of data, at a very rapid rate. And we introduced a product earlier this year again, which we call FlashBlade Exa, which has hit the highest of benchmarks in the industry. So we're very pleased with that. It's an early start to the product, but we're expecting a lot from it as we go forward.
And geographies for this demand, how does it look?
Well, North America by far is the largest, furthest along in the AI space, although sovereign, there's a lot of buying by sovereign nations in the AI space, and we're seeing quite a bit of that in the Middle East, the Far East as well. But I would say right now, the focus really 80–90% is in the North American.
How confident do you feel in the macro environment as you're making this guide compared to how you felt 6 months ago?
Yeah, well, it's a big difference, John. Obviously, the beginning of the year, there was a lot of uncertainty in the macro environment by everyone. economists, banks, and so forth, some of them calling for a downturn in the second half. We're obviously now 7-8 months into the year. And, we have 2 months behind us. We've had strong quarters over the last 3 quarters. And as we look at the rest of the year, we're seeing strong buying signals. And so that's a function of both the macro as well as what we believe is, our strength in our industry secularly.